Living below your means is crucial, especially if you don't want to get into debt and you want to have financial stability in the future. There are a lot of different tips out there on ways to live below your means, and some of them are a bit extreme or really hard to implement. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you some tips that are easy to implement in your lifestyle so you can live below your means. So my recommendation would be, if you want to live within your means and below your means, is to use what you have at home first. So before going and getting takeout, you would check your fridge and freezer and pantry and see if there's anything you need to use before it expires. I know sometimes we can be tired and we just want to order something quickly or go pick up some takeout, but if you're letting things expire in your fridge and your freezer, because things in the freezer are not invincible, then you are wasting money, because throwing out produce or food that's frozen is throwing away money. Now, waste is inevitable and it happens to the best of us. We're gonna throw out food, we're gonna throw out produce, but it's really important to try your best to minimize that and use what you have before buying new things. This also means taking inventory before grocery shopping and making sure that you're gonna use up everything and making meals that correspond with the items you have at home before going and buying brand new stuff. So when it comes to using what you have to be mindful in other areas of your life too, like skincare, and body wash is a good example. Sometimes we buy a body wash because we love the scent and it smells so good and we like using it, but then we go to the store and we smell another one that smells great and then we buy it, and then we have 2 body washes, and that continually keeps happening. And then you have a stockpile of body washes, and sometimes you even throw out the first one because you're too excited to use the second one. So it's really important to be mindful of what you have and even take inventory of what you have so you don't go and buy more things. A lot of financial waste and even debt can come from buying things that we already have in our house, and it can even happen with decor pieces. Now, I'm not saying don't upgrade your house or get new fun things, but you have to make sure that you're being mindful with your spending and using the things you have at home first. When it comes to buying decor for your house, also be mindful to purchase the things you love and not just the things you like or are temporary, and actually work on curating pieces in your home that you will like in the future and not just right now. Because using what we have is not just for consumables, but also other things that we purchase as well. Now, it takes time to get out of bad spending habits if you're used to just buying whatever you want at the grocery store or buying whatever you want when you're at the store. But if you work on it and try to use what you have at home and get excited about the things that you have, it'll be much better for your financial future. If you're having difficulty with using the things you have at home and constantly buying new things, I'd recommend putting all those new things that you bought in a box. And then when you want to buy something new, open that box and you'll get excited about the new things that you already have. Sometimes we buy so much and we forget about the things that we have, and living within our means using the things we have as well and not letting them go to waste. The most important thing for living within your means is having a budget. I didn't want to put this as the first tip because I think it's the most important, but I know a lot of people are probably sick and tired of hearing that you need to have a budget, you need to budget your life, but you really do. If you don't know what's coming into your life and you don't know how you're consuming and what you're spending your money on, you will not be able to live within your means. Because if you think you're only making a certain amount, but you're making much less than that, there's no way that you can live within your means if you don't know how much is coming in. Also, in the reverse of that, if you are consuming more than what you bring in, you won't know that unless you budget. So it's really important to have a budget. And there's many different methods out there. I personally use the zero-based budgeting method. So you categorize everything and there's 0 left in your budget, but you can use whatever works for you. Another tip that's really easy to implement when it comes to living within your means is cycling subscriptions. So what does cycling subscriptions mean? So instead of having Netflix and Disney Plus and Amazon Prime and all of those subscriptions all in 1 month and continually renewing them and spending so much money on that, you cycle through them. So instead of having Netflix every single month of the year, you would have it in, let's say, January, then in February you would have Prime or whatever other subscription, and then in March you would have Disney Plus, and then you would go back to Netflix in April. So instead of having every single subscription, you only pay for 1 subscription service every single month. And the plus side of this is not only do you save money, but you get to accumulate all of the things that they're putting up and all the new content, and you don't have to waste all your time looking for something new to watch because there's already new things to watch. Sometimes we mindlessly renew our subscriptions because we don't even know what happens. It's just automatic and it renews. So I definitely recommend also, when you are subscribed to something, pay for it and then cancel it so it doesn't automatically renew. The next thing you can do today to live within your means is to negotiate your bills. There's a lot of bills that we believe are fixed and we cannot change them and that's just what it is, but there are so many that you can actually call the provider and ask them for a discount. Some examples of this would be your cell phone, your internet, your car insurance, your house insurance, your renter's insurance. There are so many bills that you can call and negotiate. If not, you can actually change your service, move on to a different provider, and get a discount that way. Sometimes we feel loyalty towards companies, and we really should not feel loyal towards companies and stick with them because they're not always giving us the best deal. So if they're not willing to bring down your cell phone plan or your internet, I'd recommend looking elsewhere and changing providers. Some bills you are stuck in for a certain period of time. So usually with car insurance or house insurance or renter's insurance, you're stuck within the contracted time, which is usually a year. When you're getting close to a year being completed, I'd recommend looking around and trying to get a better deal because, like I said, you're not always getting the best deal because loyalty with these companies does not matter. There are so many more tips I could give you on how you can live within your means, and these are just a few, and I definitely will be making more videos on how to live within your means. I'm hoping that these tips have helped you, and it's super important to try your best to live within your means so you don't get into debt and you have financial stability. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments if any of these tips have helped you or if you already implement these tips in your life. Bye!